Hello everyone, this is Bridget with Horse Auctions USA, and we are gearing up for the Milam Mules Select Mule Sale this Friday and Saturday, February 27th and 28th in 𝐬𝐸𝐾, Missouri. We are super excited to be bringing you this sale. Brock Milam and his family have done an outstanding job of putting together a super set of mules that I think anyone would be proud to offer. And we here at Horse Auctions USA are so happy to be a part of it. So the purpose of this video is just to go over the schedule and then to specifically go over the online bidding and access to the online catalog. So even if you're planning on coming to this sale in person, some of this information might be useful to you, as it'll kind of walk you through the online catalog, the digital catalog, so you can access stuff before you get there on sale day. And we'll go over the trail challenge and all of that good stuff. So let's get down to the nuts and bolts of things. First, I've got the flyer up so you guys can just kind of take a look. It's got all the basics on there, right? The mules will start checking in on Friday at 12 noon. And at 2 p.m. will be the trail challenge, which is an excellent opportunity for the sellers to showcase their mules, and for the buyers to really shop these animals and watch them work. It's a pretty snifty trail course. The Milam Mules Select Mule Sale Facebook page will actually go over some of that. So if you want haven't checked that out yet, definitely look that over so you can kind of see what to expect on Friday afternoon. And then Saturday at 10 a.m., it is go time, okay? The sale will start promptly at 10 o'clock in the morning. For those of you from out of the area who are intending to bid online, here in Missouri, we are on Central Time. So if you're on the East Coast, it's going to be 11 o'clock your time. And if you are west of us, then you're going to back that up, okay? So we are on Central Time. So let's go to the online catalog. We're going to go step by step here, guys. I'm going to walk you through finding it, and then I'm going to walk you through getting registered to bid, and then go through the bidding process itself, because online bidding I know is new for some of you, and we want you to feel comfortable. So again, the bidding platform is Horse Auctions USA. We do have an app for our Apple users. So if you have an iPhone, if you're going to be using your iPhone, or you're going to be using an iPad, I would strongly encourage you to download the Horse Auctions USA app. It is free to download. It is super easy to use. You do not have to be at all tech savvy to use it. Unfortunately for my Android users, the app is not available on Android. So you folks will use your browser, and that's what we're going to do here, because I'm showing you on the computer. For those of you who do use the app, this is all going to be pretty much the same. You're just going to open the app, and then from there the steps are going to be the same. So in your browser, what browser? You can use any browser your little heart desires. It will work with pretty much all of them. I recommend Google Chrome, as it tends to be the most up to date, but again, it will work with all. So if you prefer Edge or you prefer Safari, you'll be just fine. So you're going to open your browser address window, and in the address bar, you are going to type bid, B-I-D, like you're placing a bid, and then a period, Horse Auctions, and there's an S at the end of auctions, USA.com. So whether you are on the browser or in the app, the rest of this is going to be pretty much the same. When you first open the app or first navigate on the browser, it's going to bring you to our landing page. And as our name implies, Horse Auctions USA, we are in fact all over the place, and this weekend is no exception. The sales are listed here in chronological order, and we do have a sale Friday night, and then we do have a sale that starts a little bit earlier on Saturday over in Tennessee. So if you're watching this before we get to Saturday morning, you're going to see a couple of sales that pop up before Milam. So we're going to pop over here to the Milam Mules Select Mule Sale, and you're going to click View Auction beneath that sale. When you do that, it's going to bring up this, which is basically an index of all the mules that are coming, okay? And so what you see when you pop this up is just a little, like a teaser, if you will, okay? It's just a little lead in, and you can kind of scroll down through, and then when you see one that you want to know more about, you can click on it and expand. So this guy here is pretty neat, and I know he's got lots of stuff to look at, so I'm going to click on Montego here. So when you click on the mules listing, that is going to expand, okay? And it's going to give you all of the mules information, okay? As well as their photos and their videos. If they have a video, and the vast majority of these mules do, it's going to tell you they have a video or videos right in the lead, okay? So you'll know right out of the gate. So you can just use the little arrow. The second thumbnail and any subsequent videos are always going to be there. Okay, so if there's a video, it'll be the second thumbnail, and if they have additional videos, those will show up right after. Like this guy's got a couple of different videos, and then if you keep going, it'll take you through any additional still photos. Okay, so that's a little about how to navigate. You can, of course, just scroll down through and shop. If you're looking for something very specific, you can type keywords in here. Like if you're wanting a mule that specifically mentions it is packed, you can type the word pack, and then any mule where that word appears is going to pop up. Okay, but I mean, let's be honest, we like shopping, right? So I would encourage you to just scroll down through and look at them one by one. You'll notice lot 0 here says sale information and practice bidding. If you're new to online bidding or just want more information about the sale, I would definitely encourage you to look at this lot. This is going to give you a good overview of the sale itself, just kind of, again, the basics, the what, the where, the when. There's a great little background here on Brock Milam and the story behind Milam Mules, which is pretty neat to read, so I would definitely check that out. And then it's going to walk you through kind of an overview of the online bidding. So this is a really good resource for you. It's something you can always come back to and refer to. Most of the commonly asked questions about the sale will be answered here in lot 0. This also serves, as the name implies, as a practice bidding lot, and we're going to use this tonight and place some bids and register and see how all that works. So you'll notice next to each and every mule, there's a little prompt that says register to bid. It does not matter what mule you click under. As long as you're in the Milam Mule Select Mule Sale, you can just click under any single one of them. So you're going to click register to bid. And then this kind of sometimes trips people up. So when you click that, it's going to bring up this little pop-up window. If you are brand spanking new to Horse Auctions USA, you've never registered for an account with us before, don't put your email and your password in here. And I think this is where a lot of people kind of get hung up because it looks like you should just put your stuff in. Okay, that's just for returning users. If you're brand spanking new, you're going to go down to the bottom where it says no account, sign up here, and you're going to click on that. It's going to have you put in your first and last name, your email address, a password you can hopefully remember, and then you're going to click continue. And that's going to create your account. Depending on the browser you're using and if it's like super up to date or if it needs an update, once you do that, you may have to go back and once again click register to bid and then finish the actual registration process, right? So that first thing you do with you just put your name and your email and your password, that makes you a user account. Then you need to actually register for the sale. So when you click it again, this time, you're going to be logged in with it's going to show your name, and then it's going to have you put in your complete address, your phone number, and then it's going to have you put in a credit or a debit card, okay? And I hate that we have to do that, guys, but because we do broadcast and have bidders from all over the U.S. and sometimes even from out of the country, we need to make sure that you're a real live human, that you're over the age of 18, and you have a valid payment method. So you are going to have to put in a card. When you do, Horse Auctions USA is going to put a $500 pre-authorization on that card. It's not a charge. It's going to fall off at the end of the auction like it was never there, but it is going to go on as a pre-authorization, just like when you rent a car or you reserve a hotel room. How that shows up in your mobile banking is going to depend on your bank. For some banks, you won't see it unless you actually open your mobile banking. Some banks are going to send you a notification that looks like a charge. Do not panic, okay? Regardless of what your bank's notification process is, if you actually open up your mobile banking, you'll see it there as a pending charge, okay? It's never going to complete. It's going to fall off like it was never there. Again, this happens immediately on my end. When it happens on your end is entirely dependent on your bank. For most banks, it'll be the next business day, so Monday. Some banks will be Tuesday. Just know that I have no control over when it falls off on your bank's end, but my release is immediate, okay? So just, again, I'm sorry we have to do that, but it's just kind of one of those, the times we live in. I'm going to go ahead and get into my bidder account so we can see what it looks like once you're registered to bid, and let's talk about placing some bids. Okay, so now I am registered to bid and I am logged in, and I know this because one, my name is up here. Okay, so that tells me that I am logged in. And then all my little register to bid prompts, you'll notice that they have now changed. Now they're asking me if I want to place a bid, okay? So those are your two indicators that you're A, logged in, and B, logged in and looking at a sale that you are in fact registered for, all right? So we're good to go. On this platform, there are two different ways to place bids, okay? The most obvious and the one that everyone usually will think of with online bidding is that you're going to watch live and bid in real time on Saturday. And absolutely, that is a great way to do that. So there will be a live feed. You'll have real-time audio, real-time video, and you can place bids just as if you were there with us in person. You can also place early absentee bids, and we're going to go over how to use both of those and when you might use them. So we'll do the live bidding first. So let's just for a moment pretend it's 10 o'clock Central Time on Saturday. We're live. We're ready to bid. You would click on lot number 1 or whatever lot is active. So we will start with lot number 1. For now, we're going to start with lot number 0 because we are practicing. You'll see how it says view live. I'm going to bring this up just for a second. So you click on the view live. And that is going to bring up the live feed. Okay, I'm going to mute it, obviously, because our live feed right now is me talking to you. So here is going to be your video of what's going on in the sale ring. And then you'll see that the photos that were on that lot are still viewable down here. So if you wanted to go back and refer to something real quick while they're reading the announcements about that mule, you can go down here and click on any of those pictures or, the YouTube link or whatever. You can, and it'll just move the live feed down here. Okay. And then you can click to come right back. So you can switch back and forth between the live feed and the photos or videos that were in the Mules listing, okay? So we're live and the auctioneer is doing his thing and you want to place a bid. On that note, I know for a lot of people for whom auctions are not something you do a lot of, or maybe this is your very first one, sometimes people get really hung up on trying to understand the auctioneer's chant, right? That's probably the number one complaint I hear is we can't understand the auctioneer. And I think it's because people kind of get caught up in trying to understand the chant. What you really need to worry about coming out of the auctioneer's mouth is this, right? The dollar figure. Okay, that's the important part. The announcer is going to give you all of the Mules information and they're going to speak it like I'm speaking to you now. So that's, people can generally, follow that just fine. But when the auctioneer starts doing his thing, sometimes it's a little hard to follow for people who are new to auctions. So the take home here is don't get hung up on trying to make out every syllable of the auctioneer's chant, okay? You worry about the number. Our job on this end is to keep up with that. So we're going to be keeping right along with him. So let's pretend for a moment that we are live and the auctioneer is asking for $1,500 and I want to place that $1,500 bid. So I'm going to click to bid. And when I do, you see how it says confirm bid? I have not yet actually placed my bid. You do have to click a second time to actually confirm the bid. And this is done this way because we don't want you to bid accidentally, okay? There's no take backsies, so to speak, right, during a live auction. So when you bid, it's serious. So we want you to make sure that you're placing a bid. And ta-da, I am officially the high bidder at $1,500, okay? So if I get outbid, it's going to say you've been outbid, bid again, and so on. So the big take home on the live bidding is click twice, and also don't drag your feet getting your bids in. It is an auction, it's fast paced, and the worst feeling in the world for us on this end is having an online bidder that's going along with us and they're bidding and the floor takes them out and the auctioneer does last call and you don't come back and they say sold, and right as they say sold, the internet bidder comes back in. Unfortunately, once the auctioneer has said sold, that's it, that's all, and it's over, and you've missed, okay? So if you're bidding live, just make sure that you're ready to bid and get your bids in just as fast as you can. We're very fortunate there's no delay on our end, but I can't account for any delay on yours technology-wise. So on that note, let's talk about that absentee bidding and why you might use that. So the most obvious reason to use absentee bidding is you can't watch live on Saturday, right? Like you've got to work or the kid's got a game, you have to go to somebody's wedding, you have something that's preventing you from watching live. That's an obvious reason to use the absentee bidding. A less obvious reason will be internet service. So like I said, this is real time with no delay on our end. But in order for there to be no delay and a good smooth experience on your end, you also must be in a place with good internet service. And sometimes in rural America, that is not really the option. So if you sometimes try to watch a video and it's always like doing the little circle thing, when it's buffering, or you're doing it from your phone and you're in sketchy cell service, that can cost you a winning bid. So you folks might want to think about using the absentee bidding option as well. For a lot of my regular users who do have poor service where they live, they choose to use the absentee option. And just because you place absentee bids doesn't mean you can't still jump in live. So a lot of them, what they'll do is they'll place their bids ahead of time and then they still watch live because you can still jump in and change that bid, increase it, or whatever if you need to when the live bidding's going on. It's just kind of one of those nice fail safes. The computer does all the heavy lifting for you, and then you don't have to worry about any kind of delay on your end. So to place absentee bids, I'm just going to get out of this screen for 1 minute so you can see it on all of them. You see next to the little bid button where there's a little down caret, a little down arrow, right? Okay. When you click on that, it brings up the create a max bid option. Okay, so I'm going to go back to lot 0 where I want to be, and I'm going to grab that little caret and I'm going to place a maximum bid here. Okay, and I want this to be high enough so that you can see the difference in bids, but I also want it to be low enough that you can come knock me out. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to place a $3,500 maximum bid. This is what I want you to see. You'll notice that it did acknowledge my maximum bid of $3,500. You'll also notice that I am still the high bidder at only $1,500. The reason I want to show you this is I don't want you to be afraid of putting that maximum bid in there and thinking the computer's just going to go hog wild and be like, oh, they bid $10,000. I'm going to put you in for $10,000. Okay, it's not designed to do that. When you place a maximum bid, you are in essence telling the computer to bid on your behalf or act as your proxy. And so in doing that, the computer's job is to get you the mule you want for the lowest possible price. So the computer is going to represent me on this practice lot, and I'm going to be the winning bidder at $1,500 until one of you comes and knocks me out. And this will go by $250 bid increments. So if one of you bids 17 and a half, it's going to put me in at 2,000, right? It's not just going to wham, slap me in there at 3,500 until it has to, okay? And so that's how the absentee bidding works. So don't be afraid that the computer is just going to put you in and start you for your maximum bid. It does not work that way, okay? Also on that note, if you have a maximum bid placed, and what happens on our end, right, when we're live and the mule comes in and someone has placed an absentee bid, it tells you John Smith has absentee bids on this mule. And they bring in practice mule, and then they say, oh, by the way, practice mule is a cribber, or practice mule, we had a fender bender on the way here and now he's limping. Whatever it is, if it's a piece of information that is either announced or viewable to us that changes practice mule's information here, right? It's information that wasn't available to you. We're going to take out all the absentee bids on that lot. And the reason we're going to do that is because now there's information available to all of the bidders that are there in person that wasn't available to you when you placed those bids, right? And that's not a level playing field, and that's not fair. So we'll take you out, and there'll be a little light next to your name that tells us if you're watching or not. So we'll say like, hey, John, this mule got hurt on the trailer, and he's got kind of a swollen knee today. So we've taken your bid out. If you feel okay and comfortable with, what they've announced, you can replace that bid. So again, if your bid gets taken out, just be aware that we did that for your protection, because something changed between the time that this information was available and the mule coming in the ring. Okay, it's never done to hurt you. It's done to protect your interests. The other thing I do want to point out on absentee bidding, I mentioned increments, right? Our bids. So the computer, before we're actually live, the computer is going to go by $250 increments. That's just kind of a preset on here. Once we're live, we're going to go by whatever increment the auctioneer is using. So he may be going by $250. He may be going by $100. He may be going by $500. Just going to depend on the day and the animal in front of him. So whatever the increment the auctioneer is using is what we'll be changing to in real time. So let's say this mule comes in, we're live, and there's been, we've gone back and forth between the floor and the computer putting me in, and the floor at some point, is in at 3,000 and the computer puts me in at 32 and a half, right? So I'm the winning bidder at 32 and a half. And so the auctioneer asks the floor for 35 and they come back at 35. Even though your max bid was 35, the computer had you at 32 and a half, right? So you were the winning bidder there. The floor bid's 3,500. They take them. So now you're out, right? It doesn't happen often, but it does on occasion happen. So I just don't ever want anyone to say, but my bid was 35. It was. And that's why that happens. So when something like that does happen, and again, it's not often, but on occasion, the way the increments fall, it takes you out a little early. We'll let you back in for like 36, right? Because we want to be fair. But just be aware that that's the only time that your max bid, you might get taken out right at your max, as if the increment had you in one bid before that. So I know that that's probably a little confusing if you're not super auction savvy, and don't get too hung up on it. I just kind of wanted to mention it. So that's the basics of online bidding. If you're a winning bidder, the office is going to give you a call. It likely won't be immediately after you purchase the mule. So I know usually when someone's got the winning bid, they're super excited and they want to call and right away. We can't answer our phones in the middle of the sale because we're still working right till the last mule sells. But the office, so just kind of be patient. Once you get your mule, the office will reach out to you. You'll need to make final payment with the Milam Mule sale office. They will do a card, or you can do cash or check at pickup if you're picking right up. So again, they'll kind of go over all of that for you. If you need layover board for a day or two while you get your transport set up, that is available to you. You just need to set that up with Brock, and his information again is here in the Lot Zero sale information. I think that's pretty much everything. Oh, trail course. Where can we watch the trail course? So we will stream the trail challenge on the Milam Mule Select Mule Sale Facebook page. We'll be streaming directly there. So that's where you'll be able to watch that on Friday afternoon. It is at 2 p.m., so if you happen to still be working during the trail challenge, don't panic. Once it's done, that live video will be available to you for replay, so you can go back like Friday evening and watch it. So hopefully this was helpful to you guys. We're super excited. Can't wait to see everyone. Again, my name is Bridget with Horse Auctions USA. If you have any troubles, any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. You can reach me by call or text 336-904-8903. Thank you, everyone. We look forward to seeing you in Sikeston, Missouri this Saturday, February the 28th at 10 o'clock in the morning.